Greeting to the lecturers. We are from MPPL Group 1 Role Analysis. We'll explain what our role analysis doing in making COVID tracker application. Before the presentation, let us introduce ourselves. Starting from me, my name is Igor Gasigan with student ID 11S18045 as the head of role analysis.
My name is Angel Rizkadi Pardede, and my student ID is 11S18040.
My name is Naomi Tamunan with student ID 11S1X028.
My name is Esther Gultom with student ID 11S1052.
My name is Elita Juneta Siregar and my student ID is 11S1X063.
Saya Yana Desari Sukmorang, NIM 11S18015.
First slide is what is analysis team. Analysis team is tasked with analyze the system including problems that occur along with their solution and user needs. System analyst must be expert not only about computer technology but also about business. Next, what the analysis team did in making the COVID tracker application. First, analyze requirements from the user point of view. 2. Determine the features you want to build. 3. Creating business flow applications such as use case diagram, use case scenarios, class diagram, EPMN, activity diagrams, sequence diagrams, and state diagrams. 4. Designing database such as ARD, EER, DFT. And the last, the output of this work in this form of SRS and FSD documents. First, analyze requirements. User need applications that can make it easier for user to find information related to spread of COVID information. User need information related to COVID info such as COVID guides, referral hospital, and service context. 2. Features that are in our application. The COVID tracker application is divided into 2 parts, namely the web application and the mobile. This is website application features. There are 4 features in website application. The first feature is Branda to see the distribution map and the latest COVID news in Indonesia. Second is Info to view info related to COVID guides. The third is Tentang Kami, discussing the background of development team making this application. Fourth is Unduh, the means to download the mobile application. The second is mobile application feature. There are 8 features in mobile application. The first is authentication, includes login, register, forgot password, and logout. Second, Branda. This includes reading news banners and viewing the status of the COVID distribution map based on tracking the user's location. Third, statistic, provide special COVID case history data in the user area. Fourth, info, to view info related to COVID guides, referral, hospital, and COVID service context. 5, required record travel history or search for areas carried out by the user. 6, profile display detailed user information. 7, bantuan, provides information to assist the use of mobile application. 8, Tentang Kami, discussing the background of the development team making this application.
Okay, next, number 3, visual modeling methods. In modeling it, we use the following methods. First, use case diagram. Second, BPMN. Third, use case scenario. 4, class diagram. 5, activity diagram. 6, sequence diagram. And the last, state diagram. We use this modeling to describe how the software system, both web and mobile version, will work. So that there will be a flowchart to explain each of the feature in the software. Well, first we will discuss about modeling using use case diagram. Use case diagram. What is a use case diagram? A use case diagram is a diagram that describes the relationship between use cases, actors, and the system. It doesn't show the order in which steps are performed to achieve the goals of each of use case. Then, what is the benefits? The benefit of the use case is to facilitate communication using domain experts and non-users, providing certainty about the right understanding of the requirements or also the needs of a system. The following is a use case diagram for the use of web-based software. It can be seen that in this use case diagram, there is one user who acts as an actor. There are also 9 use cases which are marked with the bubble symbol as shown below. So, then from this picture, we can see that this user has interaction with the system. We can see the interaction from the following line that connect the user with the use case through the web system itself. For example, the user wants to view the homepage or also wants to see the traffic info page. From the picture, we can also see that there are 2 use cases that include use cases Lihat Branda. The use case is the use case Lihat Banner Berita and Lihat Surat Barang. Because the purpose of import here is that Lihat Banner Berita inputs Lihat Branda, which means to Lihat Banner Berita, the user must go to the use case Lihat Branda first. Like this for use case Lihat Panduan COVID and others which inputs use case Lihat Info COVID. The important thing to know in this web use case diagram is that there will also be 9 flowcharts that explain details about each of these features.
The use case diagram of the mobile COVID tracker application. There are several elements, name actor, system, use cases, and relation. The diagram has 1 actor, name user, 1 system, name system COVID tracking, 16 use cases such as lihat banner berita, lihat peta sebaran, masuk, keluar, daftar akun, and so on. And the relation there are to contain name association and dependency. The type of dependency is include. The association is marked with linear line, and for include is marked with dash line and word include. The example of association is relation between user and use case masuk. And for the example of include is relation between daftar akun and masuk.
I will explain about our class diagram that we use for our application. First of all, class diagram is a type of static structure diagram that describes the structure of system by showing the system classes, their attributes, operation or method, and the relationship among objects. Each class that we have, we can see that we have some class that have attribute and their operation. We have 5 class, and the relation of each class, we can see that all of them have a relation with user class. For example, the relation of rewrite class with user class is memiliki. And here we can see that the relation is 1 to 0 many. The meaning of that is if a user can have none or many history. In this class diagram, we can see there's minus and plus. That means minus for private and plus for public.
Activity diagram is behavioral diagram in UML diagram to describe dynamic aspect of the system. Activity diagram describe how activities are coordinated to provide a service which can be at different levels of abstraction. The main method used activity diagram are demonstrate the logic of an algorithm, describe the step performed in UML use case, and the last illustrate a business process or workflow between user and the system. This is the activity diagram of maps function. In the activity diagram, there are several elements named initial state, final state, activity, join, decision, and also swimlane. In the activity diagram, there are two organizations named user and application. Activity begins with mark with the initial state, that is, the user opened the application, and after success, the application will display a message to activate the GPS. There is a decision, that is, the user will be given two conditions, want to activate the GPS or not. If yes, when the user chooses the distribution map menu, will display the distribution map according to the location of user. If not, when the user select the distribution map menu, will be asked again whether will activate the GPS or not. And if yes, will display a map of the user location distribution, and if does not, display a map of the distribution of COVID-19 throughout Indonesia. After that, the end of the activity will be marked with the final state.
State diagram. State diagram is a diagram that describes the character of the application system. State diagrams describe all the conditions that may appear as an object as well as events. The elements in the state diagram are processes that represent the state of an object and allows to show the move to the next step. The activity part of the state symbol describes the object, the activities that will be performed while in state. The following is a state diagram image of the COVID tracker application is. First, it is the initial state of the system process. Accessing the application displays the login page. When registering for an account, displays a register page. On register process, there's a data validation decision. If the data invalid, it will return to the register page. If the data valid, it will go to the login page and display the login page. When forgetting the password, it will display the forgot password page. On the login page, during the application login process, there is a decision. If the data is invalid, then it will return to the login page. If the data is valid, it will display permission location access. Next, when the location access permission is activated or not, it displays the feature of the COVID tracker application. In this step, there are activities carried out on the COVID tracker application features such as statistic page. Having an entry activity where this entry is current even system goes into the state. Do is even when the system is in the state. In the statistic page, activity in the entry show the statistic page. In this do section, see statistic, there are two conditions in the precondition. First, after successful login, if enable at location access permission, display homepage, then select statistic. After successful sign in, if the location access permission is not enabled, display the homepage, then select statistic. Then in post condition, what is done in precondition? There are two conditions in post condition. They are first, displays COVID statistic in the user area on the statistic page if the location permission access is enabled. Second, ask the user to reactive location access to view COVID statistic in the user area if the location permission access is not enabled. Next, after the display state of the feature of COVID tracker application on the right, there is an exit state, namely leaving the application and going to the final state, which is end of the system process.
In our database, we have two tables. There are user and story. In users table, there are some attributes. First is ID user, which is primary key and unique attribute. Then the other attributes are name, email as unique attribute, password, created at, and update at. Then in history table, there are some attributes too. First is ID history, which is primary key and unique attributes. Then the second attributes is location name. Then the other attributes are ID user as foreign key and unique attributes, then created at and update at. Next, I will explain about ERD or Entity Relationship Diagram. ERD is a model to explain the relationship between data in database based on data object that have relationship. In our database, we have two entities. First is user and the second is history. In user, we have same attributes. First is ID user, which is a primary key, then name, email, password, feature, created at, and update at. Then the second entity is history. History entity would have some attributes. First is ID history as primary key, location name, ID user, created at, update at. And in ERD, this ERD have a relationship one-to-many. One user can have one or many story, and the relation is have.
First of all, EER models are helpful tools for designing database with high-level models. With their advanced features, you can plan database more thoroughly by delving into properties and constraint with more precision. We can also say that EER diagram is more specific with what will be there in our database. We use one database with two tables, namely user and history, and the relation of both is one-to-many. That's meaning that a user can have many history. In ER diagram, we can also see what will be in the table and their type. We can see what a primary key, foreign key, and how much the attribute will be can accept. For example, we have an attribute nama with type varchar, and this number of 50, we can tell that 50 is how much the program will be accept from user input in application.
Next is DFD, data flow diagram. Data flow diagrams are used to graphically represent the flow of data in a business information system. DFD describes the processes that are involved in a system to transfer data from the input to the file storage and report generation. In the following figure, we can see that when a user sends user detail data, the following registration process will send the data to the user table database. Also, when a user wants to change his password by sending a new password detail, a forgot password process will also send the data to the user table database. Unlike the previous case, which send data to the user table, following this, when a user travels or search the location in the lihat peta sebaran feature, the trip history recording or pencatatan riwayat perjalanan process will send the trip data into the history table database.
Number 5 is outputs from the role analyst. For the output role analyst in the SRS document and FSD. What is SRS? A software requirement specification or SRS is a document that describes what the software will do and how it will be expected to perform. It also describes the functionality the product needs to fulfill all stakeholder needs. What is FSD? A functional specification document is a document designed to give an overview of how software system, mobile app, or web app function. The document gives a detailed step-by-step outline of each item's functionality and flow. For our presentation, result of the role analysis. If there are mistakes in words and actions during the presentation, we are sorry. Thank you.